So thank you to you guys who have responded to my call to give me some questions that you guys would like me to go over in the Q&A video. It's been probably a good year or some change since I did one of these. So let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so I'm going to be pulling these first set of questions from my YouTube channel. I put up the question on the community tab to ask you guys to go ahead and send me some of your questions so that way I know what to answer. So the first question that I'm going to tackle here is, how much time do you spend turning an idea into a finished track, and how much longer did it take you when you were a beginner? That is a good question, and it is a common question because these days a lot of people do want to rush and think, oh man, you got to make a beat in 5 minutes or less, you know, stuff like that, or even down to when I used to do the 10-minute challenge trying to make a beat. But that was mainly just to show you guys you can get the idea out there. Generally speaking, when I'm actually creating something, especially here recently, I'm taking longer with it. I'm taking maybe 20-30 minutes with one beat. I'm not rushing through the process just to put a beat out to say I made a beat. I decided to focus more so on quality moving forward, just in life in general, with anything that I'm doing. So I'm definitely going to apply that with music. So if I'm not making a beat in less than 10 minutes anymore, I don't really care. I'm not trying to be a machine just churning them out. I did that before. Now I'm trying to put more of myself into my music so that way when people listen to it, they can feel that it came from me. Now, as I just mentioned, when I was a beginner, at the very beginning stages, I couldn't even tell you, because a lot of the times when I made beats, I didn't even finish the beats back in the day. It was literally me just doing it because I loved the music, experimenting. And I feel like at that point in time, I was more creative anyway, just due to the fact that there was no rules. It was just, I'm just having fun. If something was out of key but it still sounded good to me, it was just out of key and it sounded good to me. So that was there. So I guess in stages. In the beginning, it was just the focus on the creating, the what is it I'm looking for, the creative side of things, not even thinking about the time, just having fun. It was like I was playing a video game or something for hours and hours and hours. Then when I got to the middle part of it, in between then and now, I would say I was more so on that, oh man, I need to make a beat 5-10 minutes. If it takes longer than that, no, I don't need to make it. And now I'm more so on the quality of things and just taking time, learning different techniques and everything to make something sound the way I want it to sound, and just making it, giving it a piece of me. So that's your answer right there. The next question I'm going to answer also comes from the YouTube channel. Somewhat of a noob here. 2019, I guess that's when he said he started making beats, so that was 3 years ago. The stock machine software has quite a long list of effects and features. At first glance, seems like any modifications you need to make are included. What's so great about adding additional effects, plugins? Just seems like overkill. What are the advantages to these non-stock plugins? And some look pretty pricey. Okay, so this is something that I knew about this before, not really before my beginning stage. That's gonna sound crazy. I learned about effects and stuff a few years into making beats, because, you know, I knew about reverb and stuff like that, but when it comes to other effects, it was not really on my radar. Same thing with VSTs. I didn't really know what VSTs were till I was like 2 years into making beats, 2 or 3 years into making beats is when I finally learned what VSTs were. I was just using little sample sounds and all that stuff. So when it comes to adding effects to your sound, it could take a sound from being plain, like doom, like just a piano, and then we add an effect to it. It can give it a whole nother feel for it. One of my favorite plugins for doing effects is Guitar Rig from Native Instruments. I use that on pretty much everything. If I make a melody, I go in there and that's just gives it an extra feel. Like it's not it's hard to explain without playing it for you guys. Pretty much what it is, I'll play a melody, it may sound a little plain, and then if I drop, let's say, Guitar Rig on it, it gives a little spacey vibe, because that's what I'm looking for. I also do that with my samples, and then I'll throw halftime on it to give it a little deeper tone under the sample, make it sound a little bit fuller, if that makes sense. And it just helps you create the sound that you want. Just starting out, it's not necessary, but it is a great advantage to creating something that's different, and it's just being creative, honestly. And if I had knew about effects when I first started, I would have been using them since the beginning. Honestly, I love it, and I'll recommend Guitar Rig to anybody. I love Guitar Rig. And you have stuff like Shaper Box, you know, that's kind of like a gross beat type thing, and so much stuff out there you can use. I may do a video on my favorite effects. Next question, how do you pay taxes as a music producer? Well, make sure you pay them. I personally go to a CPA, and he will sit down and tell me, you know, I just give him I keep track of all my income, all my expenses, all of that. But I go to an accountant and I will give him everything. He'll tell me how much everything is, and I'll go from there. So I keep track of my income, expenses, everything like that. It's just like a business. And from there, that's how I do it. These next set of questions are going to come from Instagram. Shout out to you guys that actually answered on Instagram and gave me a few questions. Some interesting ones here, so let's go ahead and dive into that. And if you aren't following me on Instagram, go ahead and give me a follow, because over there, for some reason, I've been stuck at 14.2 thousand followers for like the past 7 years. For some strange reason, it never went up, even though I get followers. It's kind of strange. So the first question I'm going to answer here is, if you could sample a record from the estates of Marvin Gaye or Prince, what would it be? That's a good question. I don't really have an answer for that. Now, if I had to pick either Prince or Marvin Gaye to sample, I'd probably go with, oh man, it's a tough one for me. I'll probably go with Prince. Probably because the sound of the music will probably be more of my style for sampling, even though Marvin Gaye, of course, has a lot of soul and all of that. I think I'll go with Prince, and then Prince's catalog is probably bigger, I would think, than Marvin Gaye's catalog. So I have a lot more options to go through. So that's what I'm going to go with. Hopefully you guys don't get upset with that one. The next question is, if you could collab with any producer, who would it be? If I could collab with any producer, it would be Pharrell, and that's simply because it's just something about Pharrell beats, the Neptunes beats, and that was something that definitely inspired me to make beats back in the day. Listening just to instrumentals that they did, and you would know it's them when you hear it. So it's just, that was an inspiration to me. I would love to work with Pharrell if I could only pick one person. Next one. What's the one thing you need present when you're about to create something artistic? The one thing I need present, I have it right here, is water. I don't know if my camera's gonna catch it because it's focusing on me so much, but yeah, water is a must for me. And then sometimes, I get the caramel frappe from McDonald's, stuff like that. It helps me just get in the mood, and just my mind start racing. I just be going crazy with the stuff. So that's something that I definitely need. One of those, but most definitely water. Next question. What do you recommend for someone who's interested in making music the way you do but has zero experience? That question I can go on and on with, because that all depends on, do you want to use the same stuff I use? If you do, I would recommend you get a machine, and depending on your budget, I would say get the MK3 or the micro MK3. But if you can save up for it, get the MK3. Get you a few VSTs, just have fun. Don't worry about the rules. Don't worry about none of that stuff, because you can learn all of this stuff on YouTube, honestly. And there's tons of people out there who have courses that can help you. Like, I have a machine course. I'm actually probably going to work on a few more courses, but there's courses on FL Studio, courses specifically on sampling, courses on mixing, courses on mastering. Everything is out there. You can learn it. You just got to put the time in and have fun doing it. And have fun experimenting, because especially when you're putting stuff out there, some people may not like it, but as long as you like it, you're good to go. This one from Jonty. Shout out to Jonty. Would you split 50-50 of the royalties of a beat after selling it with an exclusive license? Now with that, I assume you mean if I had a beat that I made by myself and the artist came and purchased an exclusive license for it, they would get 50% of the song, I would get 50% of the song. Now, if you're asking if I made a beat with another producer and we sold it, exclusively, I would then, yes, I would share it 50-50, because I don't think it really goes to the, oh, you only added this, you only added that, or I'm the person that got it here, so I deserve a little bit more. Yeah, you could do that, but at the end of the day, just chop it. Now, if it was a situation where somebody just came in and literally just added a hi-hat or something like that, I don't know about the 50-50 thing at that point, depending on what the situation is. But if we really genuinely worked on this together, split it, I think that's how it should go, and I feel like that's the easiest way. Now, the next question I have is, how do you record good audio for your YouTube videos via iPhone? I'm assuming that's asking me, do I use an iPhone? Actually, my iPhone is right here in my hand. That's how I'm finding all of these different, what's the word I'm looking for, questions. So The way I record my audio it depends on the video. Like these videos right now, I use the Rode Wireless Go 2 wireless microphone setup. The receiver's plugged into my camera. I have a lavalier mic right here, which is plugged into the transmitter or whatever, and the receiver's there, the transmitter's on me, so my lavalier mic is plugged in. So that's how I get this audio. I do a little editing of the audio when I'm in post. Now, if you're talking about my beat making videos, a lot of times I record the audio from my audio interface. I will send the audio through the headphone jack back into the interface and let it record itself, and then sometimes I'll be recording here and I just mix the audio together, and that's pretty much it. I don't record audio on here. I just don't think that I don't think it sounds good, honestly, when I record stuff directly on my iPhone. If it's something for YouTube, if it's something that I'm just posting on like Instagram or anything like that, I will then just record from the iPhone because I'm gonna edit it all right here. But if it's something that's going on YouTube and I need it on my computer, I'm definitely using my wireless microphone setup. And I have a few other microphones. Like, I've spent so much money on microphones. I have a Rode I think it's NT1 right here that I used to use on my YouTube videos, and it gave me good, it's amazing quality, but I like the convenience of not having to set it up, and I can move around, don't have to worry about bumping the microphone and all of that. And the quality is a little bit less using this wireless setup, but I wouldn't switch it for nothing, honestly. I would keep it just how it is. This is the last question, and this is a good one. I'm not going to dive too deep into the answer here. I am going to dive into it, but I'm not going to go into too much of an explanation. I may do that a little bit later. But the question is, and it's from my boy Javon Alexander: what do you look forward to the most this year? This year is going to be an excellent year. I've been doing things these past few months, which will explain why the videos slowed down a little bit and all of that. I've been doing some things outside of all of this, and the payoff for all of that is really going to be showing here in the next month and a half or so. Things are just going to be different. I look forward to, the opportunities that I'm going to be able to take advantage of, and the opportunities that are coming my way from all of this, and just by me making the sacrifices that I have, the benefits will be amazing. And you guys are going to go along for that journey. I can't wait to start doing all that stuff. I'm lining stuff up to, you guys just have to watch, but it's going to be a lot of new things coming, new ideas, and I'm going to be bouncing between this channel and my other channel. I'm going to focus on that, and this year I just look forward to seeing what's coming. I know it's a lot of great things on the way, and I want to take you guys with me and also help you guys get information. Like, one of the things I hope to do is maybe do some machine meetups. I know I talked about that in the past, and I want to fly around to different places and work on machine. And if you guys are interested in this, I look to fly around and also just create in different places and record that. I'm getting things lined up to where I am really focusing on convenience moving forward. Like, I'm not trying to be carrying this big old camera with me and the big old tripod and all the extra stuff I used to carry. Have to have a full backpack when I go somewhere. No, I'm investing in some other equipment, super small, super easy. Like, I have this right here. This was for my phone, but I don't even want to record on my phone. So I found another alternative that I'm looking into soon, and from there you guys will be able to see. It's gonna be like some vlog style, beat making, travel, personal, all type of content coming. But like I said, I'm gonna divide it from here, probably for my personal stuff on my personal channel, like the travel and all that stuff, and then over here put all the music stuff, or I may mix them up sometimes. And another thing I'm looking forward to is I'm going to start releasing my own music regularly. I wanted to do that before, didn't do it because I was trying to chase the placements and let me send this person this beat. Why would I post up here that's so good? But moving forward, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to start clearing my samples and put out sample projects on streaming platforms where you guys can check those out. And also, I think I'm going to start really getting heavier into BeatStars because I'm not going to lie, that's a great way to make some money. It has its pros and cons. I'll talk about that later in a different video, but That's nothing I'm looking forward to doing. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you have any questions, drop them below. Maybe I'll make this a weekly thing where I just go ahead and dive into some of you guys' questions. Maybe do a live stream on, maybe do live streams on Thursday during the day, maybe. You guys let me know what y'all think. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for all your support throughout all this time. I appreciate y'all. And this channel, I promise you, I ain't gonna say I promise you, what I want to do is I want to get this channel to 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I know I can make that happen, and I appreciate y'all and all of y'all that's going to help me make it happen. You all have a wonderful day out there. I appreciate you guys. Sincerely, thank you. Take care. If you need help using Machine, I have my video course up on teachable.com, and it's entitled How I Use Machine. I cover everything from how I start a beat to finishing the beat. The link is in the description below, so if you need help with Machine, go check that out. Hopefully you enjoyed the video.